it's chance for them to slaughter you guys the way you grill them with questions. So you can go ahead with your volley of questions for them.
Can you tell me how many malls, right, do well in Bombay? How many malls are there in Bombay which do well? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
Yeah,
and for a population of almost like 2 crore people?
But can I just say one thing? Are we restricting our e-commerce play to just, accessories and clothes? Because D-Mart came up with an IPO and it was a fabulous one. And that's not a mall, but it is still brick and mortar. I've made my point. Next question.
Yeah, like I said, Nisha, welcome to be on that side.
I'm not.
Fine. No problem.
Thank you, Nisha. That was my point. Next point.
I can't stop.
So we have got Big Bazaar, we have got many IPOs in the retail side, but we don't have Flipkart, Snap, Deal, whatever, which is going to shut down.
No, I just, as a moderator, was broad-based.
The point about IPOs.
So my point is very simple, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, next question.
So my point is very simple. I know the whole world talks about Flipkart all the time. But the reality is, whether it's 10 or 15 billion, one single company is 5x the entire goddamn industry. And we can talk about all the other companies we mentioned which are offline, and they're rubbing away for so many years. And everyone's bitching and moaning and stuff. And everyone's saying Flipkart's going to die. Let's see.
Name 3 companies which will replace... Name 3 companies which will replace these e-commerce companies, right? It has to be offline companies, like you said. Can you name 3 of them?
I'm not suggesting that there will be offline companies replacing them, right? So my point is...
Those names have become irrelevant in the last 5 years, Sandeep. We don't even remember the names who will take on...
I'm not investing in Shopper Cart, right? I shop or stop. That is not the question. The question is, if there is a new e-commerce company that comes to me today, will I invest in it, right? It's not a question of whether I will invest in Flipkart or invest in Snapdeal or Shopper. We are investors there.
There is nothing permanent. It's the same thing. Like when Facebook was happening, Sandeep, just another analogy only, not taking the debate away from e-commerce. When Facebook was happening, people said, will you invest in a new social network or not, right? But all these are transient. The amount of time taken for current e-commerce players to become irrelevant might be longer. But it's all transient things. Facebook is probably not relevant today in the way it was. It's WhatsApp today and it will be something else tomorrow.
And online retail does also have restaurants because the base Cootsie, Swiggy, all of these are going the way we have been using. The propensity is just rising. So I don't know why are we not...
No, so let's ask that question. So, what we want to understand is, isn't e-commerce all about level playing field to democratize access to services like better healthcare, better financial services, better loan products, not just to tier A, but tier 2, tier 3, where after 60 years, due to lack of infrastructure and otherwise, those services have not penetrated, and those are the guys who are paying the price.
Add to the accessibility. Think about those. See, a girl in some village of Punjab who wants to use a cosmetic product which is coming from overseas, and Nykaa is providing that now, and the kind of traction they are getting from these smaller towns is just phenomenal. So that's also part.
I also sense a little bit of disrespect for the consumer, right? We're trying to label these guys are poor, they won't pay, they're getting discounts, they'll not change their behavior. It's very difficult to make money if you don't respect the consumer, right?
So Patanjali, isn't it a large success story? Right? It's a remarkable brand which has come out of India. And guess where it's grown? Offline. So all the statements that you're making about the common man going online to access products for healthcare, we have a large example here of a chain which came, set up their own stores, grew it, right, in a local fashion, and is going from and has reached $1 billion in sale. And if their company statements are to be believed, it's going to grow another
and giving
4x.
Stiff competition to Unilever types.
And it's giving stiff
Anand,
competition.
You have an answer.
So the whole issue of access that our good friend has made over here has been completely debunked by this one simple example of Patanjali.
A lot of mainstream media houses have a significant online presence today. However, at the same time, you could look at the argument that circulation is actually growing, right? The newspapers numbers are actually growing year on year, which doesn't mean that the whole tectonic shift which happened in US, eventually circulation fell down. It will happen. It's just a matter of time.
You mentioned that there is pockets of profitability in all these e-commerce companies. The reason why the profitability is there today is because they have already spent a lot of money on the customer acquisition cost, right? And that you are completely discounting for. You're not taking that, if you amortize that cost over what what their returns are today, they would still be unprofitable. So, in effect, that's the challenge with a new e-commerce player coming in.
From saying that consumers will never pay, we are now saying entrepreneurs will never improve, right? So we are saying that people were inefficient in the past, investors were inefficient in the past, and that's how it will continue. It won't, right? People learn, right? And people will make money, and that's our job to bet on them. We bet on things improving, going on. We bet on people dreaming big, right? Just because 3 companies failed and 3 companies were loss-making, I won't invest. If I get a chance, I'll do many more in a similar space. I'll keep on doing it because founders will never stop dreaming, and investors will never stop fascinating.
One thing I can...
The discussion is about the current scenario, right? I'm sure there will be future scenarios where there will be more innovation.
No, but his question was very pertinent.
No, not his
Why
question.
will you invest? No, okay. So let's take that particular pertinent question as well. Why will you invest now? You are against, they are for, but why will you invest? For a higher valuation and exit, or are you looking at sustainable business models going forward?
I think today it's all about sustainability.
All right.
Even if I have to invest and take an exit basis on the valuation and working, will e-commerce give me valuations? Not at all. Horizontal e-commerce valuations are marked down. Flipkart, Morgan Stanley is marking down. The valuations are going south. So it's not going to help me invest.
So let's end at that note. Nisha Desai, thank you so much. Being a lawyer yourself, you've been very patient while others were debating and you kept quiet. Now the floor is yours.
Right, wrong, good or bad, only time will tell.
All right, thank you so much.